Alright friends, welcome back again to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. This YouTube channel is dedicated to all things Bannerlord, but especially field command and battlefield tactics. And we are going to continue on with our weak armies series here as we look to see what is attacking this castle that we took out in Khazate territory here. And we'll give you a quick overview again of the characters here and our army. It is on the rather weak side. As you can see, we have militia archers, we have sturgeon archers, we have hunters, and guys wearing these fucking Santa Claus hats. We have a very, I don't want to say very low level army, because we do have some tier 4 units, but we have recruits, we have warriors. These are some of the lowest units in the game. Let's see what we got coming down here. I'm actually narrating these live and I'm never sure. Okay, that might be too much for us to deal with actually here. 2600. Maybe we can get inside the keep here. So here's a look at the other characters we have here. This is another one of the companions from our late game campaign, and he has a little bit better troops, but as you can see, one of the themes of this series is we don't have any tier 5 or tier 6 units. She has too many troops here for some reason. Looks like I overstocked her before this battle. So we'll take a few troops from her. But as you can see, again, no tier 5 or tier 6 units in our entire army. And the theme of this, the idea with this is that a lot of people were watching our campaign where we have this incredibly elite army, and of course we're just basically rolling over everything, and wondering, you know, do tactics apply to an army full of mediocre units like this? Well, this series has been a classic example of that, right? We don't have any tier 5 or 6 units in our entire army, and anytime we do get upgrades to that, I simply dismiss these units. So let's see what these armies. There's 2 different Northern Empire armies here. Holy fuck! Look at the. They're both this strong. Holy shit. Alright, so take a look at this. Bucarelli, 95. Elite Cataphract, 85. Sergeant Crossbow, 58. Legionnaire, you can see the numbers here. All the way down. Elite Mercenary Maceman, 19. How about the other army? Oh my god, it's even stronger. Look at this. Elite Cataphract, 149. Okay, so this may be taking on too big of a fish here. Both of these armies are totally stacked with high level units. In fact, I don't know, just a rough count, maybe they have 700 or 800 tier 5 and tier 6 units, something like that. And we have 0. Wait, let's see. The garrison. Alright, we got 4 Sturgeon Heavy Spearmen and 1 Consguard. So we have 1 tier 6 unit. Why not? Sure, let's do this. So we're breaking into the castle here, and I'm gonna, let's see, what I want to participate in this battle a little bit more than I have, and I have the perfect weapon for it. This is an old item from the character that I started this campaign. He was a smith, and it's amazing. Let's give one to Griff too, the Humbler and the Disrespecter, and these are very low damage, 2-handed mace. So we use normal player damage, of course, and we're gonna give this a shot here. These maces will be fun because I can use this without killing half the guys on the battlefield. You know, I have 330 two-handed skills, but they're very low damage. So I'll be able to fight a little bit here without unbalancing the fight. So you can see I'm using all 8 units here, and you don't have to use all 8, but I'm going to, because I'm going to micromanage a lot in this battle. Admittedly, that makes it a little bit more difficult if you don't want to micromanage 5 or 6 units. And by the way, I'm not just going to be controlling them the whole battle, right? We're going to set up archers and they're going to stay there. But if you want to use 5 or 6 or even 4 for a siege, I'm okay with that. But why do you want to use 3 or 4? First of all, we have 3 infantry divisions. The first one's at the gate. The second is going to be a defensive division. And then the third one is a shock division going to attack the units that are attacking the square. I want to get my captains aligned here so I have good bonuses. Let's see. Let's stick her in the 5th. And so these archers here, as you can see, I have the 5th and now the 7th aligned upon these high walls. The nice thing about this keep, it's a very ordinary keep. Oops, shit, those units are falling off the wall. I haven't seen that before. The nice thing though is I can stretch these units out and look at the crossfire they have down in the keep, right? A lot of the fighting is going to be in the courtyard, and these are how these keeps were designed from a historical perspective to be defended, right? You would defend them, you would have archers on all these towers, you would defend those towers, and it would be murderous for the enemy to come in here and deal with all this different arrow fire from different directions. All those little slits up there, those are called murder holes, and that's literally what it's for. It's for archers to shoot out of and kill guys and keep defense, right? So we're going to micromanage here a little bit. I'm going to put the 2nd Division once the units are set up correctly. Okay, that's odd. I'm on the wall already. We're going to put the 2nd Division right here next to me, and we're... Oh shit, someone's already blowing them up with siege. Yeah, okay, and see, and this is to verify that these are all, yep, they're all elite cataphracts and tier 5 and 6 units. So the enemy has an incredibly high level army, and we have a Khan's Guard. All right, so I do have 8 or 9 companions with me, and they will do some damage, but I don't think it's going to be so much to overcome, you know, this 1,000 tier 5 and tier 6 units here. I'm not going to do a whole lot of counter siege, and normally in a siege like this I would throw those explodable bombs all over the place. I think I'm just going to let the NPC guys go to work here. I don't want to unbalance this further, although I want you to understand, of course, as a defendant of your own siege, you should be throwing those, right? Like I would normally throw every single one of these exploding bombs as soon as these guys got close to the ladders, but I'll probably just throw a few here just to sort of be in the theme of this defense here. So I've got a nice Pavis shield, and we're going to do a lot of observing in this battle. I'm going to do a lot of tactics. You can see the 8th Division over there on the wall. These archers here are they're not brilliantly positioned. We're gaining levels here. The problem with these guys on the walls, of course, is their archers are higher quality. So these guys on the wall, you know, ostensibly they're shooting out of these little holes and doing some damage to the enemy. But in reality, you will find, once you play Bannerlord for a while, these guys are extremely vulnerable. Real archers in real life, when they were reloading, they would fucking move behind these little walls. But unfortunately, look at my horse is stuck. But unfortunately, they don't do that in Bannerlord. So the reality is that you're actually better off not having these units up on these walls. I'm going to leave them here for a little bit, just to kind of... I'm observing the death spam. At least they're not getting raked. And I think part of the reason is because the enemy has so many high-level units, they don't even have very many archers, right? Ordinarily, they would have 300... what is it? The sergeant crossbowman guy, right? They have... maybe they have a 50 or 100 right now. All right, so the crux of this defense here, the crux of how we're hoping this is going to work, is we're going to defend especially this left side. I'm going to defend this to the death. In fact, I will use myself as a combatant here. If enemies come up, yeah, I see guys getting shot off these. If enemies come up these steps here, we're going to try to repel them and block them with the square of the 2nd Division, right? We're going to put this infantry division in a square, and try to basically block these stairs from enemies coming over there. What that'll do, as you can see, right, it's going to be hard even for me to push through there, is that'll prevent the enemy from getting to a lot of our archers, right? Our archers will be able to shoot unlimited shots as we fucking hammer the enemy from 3 or 4 different directions. Exactly like these keeps were designed to be defended, and indeed, many times you were defending keeps like this with lower quality troops as the defender than the attacker, right? Usually the attacker had the overwhelming advantage in numbers, and this is simply common sense. If you had stronger units that inside the castle than the enemy had outside it, you would simply sally out and annihilate them. All right, so those archers there are going to get kind of butchered. My guys, I don't know why they're fucking running away here. Sometimes you have to micromanage these guys a little bit more, but you see what I want. I want a nice long strip of these guys, and I want them to have elbow room to shoot. If these guys are stacked up too tightly, they can't shoot. Now these guys are not real vulnerable, right? They're a little bit vulnerable to archers from the outside, but the enemy's not going to be able to get archers inside here, right? They're gonna get shot to pieces if they come through those gates. All right, so here's the other thing I want to do here. I'm going to form this into a square for crossfire. What I'm effectively doing is luring the enemy this direction so that all of those units over there can fire at the enemy and hit them on the side, or even better, the back. Right, so we're putting this 1st Division, this huge infantry division, in a square. It's weak troops, but if they're in a square, they'll have a much higher survivability. Right, you can see them down there, all jumbled up, and the enemy is magnetized to them, trying to pound through it. Right, they're like, we're elite Manabliatons, we're elite cataphracts. We don't care if you're in a square. We should be able to kill that. And my guys are doing a good job of bombarding the reinforcements coming in. And indeed, eventually they will be able to beat down that square, but not when they're getting shot in the back and overwhelmed with archer fire and javelins from the other side, right? So this is This is very much a crossfire strategy, right? We are going to attack the enemy from 3 or 4 directions. You can see our 2nd division here is completely bottling up the enemy's attempt to get in here. In fact, look at the guys in the square, actually. The guys at the back of the square that are temporarily safe, they're shooting at these poor fucking enemies coming in here, right? I mean, it's already setting up. If this is a chess game, we've already taken a rook and we've pinned their queen into a really bad spot. It's a bad situation for the enemy. Now, I'm not going to throw every javelin here early on. I don't actually know if I need to fight in this battle, but I want to be able to, just in case it's close. I love a great siege defense. And of course, I've got a little bit of camaraderie now after the last 10 days or so of fighting with these guys. I've taken a little break from the campaign, and we are fighting here with these kind of ghetto troops. It's been rather enjoyable. Popping guys in the head with javelin shots here, and we're charging over there with the 3rd and the 6th. The reason I'm doing that is that the enemy's kind of coming in small waves. When the enemy comes in small waves, attack them aggressively. When they come in a huge wave, you want to defend. And you can basically think of it as when you're in a boxing match and the guy's about to wind up with a huge punch, you don't want to be swinging a punch at him. You want to be ducking, dodging, or defending. Now that they're pouring in large numbers, we get defensive. Why? Because we don't want our forces to get annihilated going toe-to-toe. You can see them down there. Look at the death spam. The death spam is all elite units. Legionary, elite, hired elite pike, elite manavliaton. The enemy has incredibly powerful troops in this battle still, and we can't go toe-to-toe, right? In fact, now they're starting to get to the archers, and we're going to suffer losses there. There's just nothing, there's no way around it, right? The square is doing a good job. On the other side there, the 3rd is also in a square. But these archers, if and when their infantry gets to our archers, they are going to get cut through like paper because literally they are wearing paper for armor, right? Now, I'm trying to help this guy standing next to me by holding up my shield. He's getting shot, I think, by archers outside the castle, and I've been kind of holding up my shield for him. And you can see him pouring in there. I'm going to get... Okay, I don't want these guys charging out either. Get back. And I said micromanaging earlier in this siege. Look how many units I'm actually controlling. I'm controlling like 3 or 4 units. Occasionally I'll reposition some units. I just pulled those guys into a better position. And I'm moving this square around. Now, there's nobody really attacking the square. Look at the guys getting raked, trying to get into our left flank here. There's nobody really attacking the square yet, but I want the enemy to see it as bait. Who's here? Who's attacking us? I'm going to get my first hammer action on. All right, this fucking legionary. Look at the damage, 12, 16. So I can't do a lot of damage with this, but at least I can satiate my bloodlust by swinging this thing. Where the fuck is the enemy? Oh, this guy, what are you doing in here? This is our fucking gatehouse. You too, catch one. I don't know what the fuck these guys are doing in here. Alright, okay, so here they come. The enemy just poured in, and these are all, or almost all elite troops. They're not, that was a veteran infantryman, so that's a tier 4 unit. But I still see cataphracts. I still see elite units down there. And now we're going to charge from the other side here because the enemy has their back to us, right? I'm going to join them here briefly. We're going to do a little bit of hammer work. This ought to be fun. Now, I didn't really mention this, but the advantage, the beautiful thing about this hammer is that it knocks guys to the ground like that. It trucks them, right? If you don't know this, if you've never swung a two-handed hammer, it's a delight. Now, this one is extremely low damage. This is like something that he smithed when he was like, I don't know, maybe he had 80 or 100 skill. And it's not really a practical weapon, but for this siege, it's perfect because I can have some fun in the battle here without killing 40 or 50 guys, right? I'm just going to kind of give you different views of this battle. We're going to fight. I'm probably going to join the square so you can see sort of what it feels like to be in a square with your archer supporting you. And, of course, we'll do a little bit of javelin and hammer work down here. 37 damage on his big swing. By now, I imagine you can see the dance moves here, right? We are baiting the enemy to attack our tough units, our infantry, and I've done this in some of the other episodes in this series, in this weak army series. We can't attack them with our weak units, so we're going to attack we're going to defend with our strong units, with our shielded units in a shield wall, which is like or in a square, which is like the strongest position. This fucking dipshit. There's always a dipshit with a flag just running in as fast as he can. and then we're gonna shoot them with our weaker units, right? At some point, I imagine they're gonna run in and overwhelm some of our lines here. But so far, so good, right? They are focused on our square. These guys have no chance of hurting me. I'm just gonna back up. Look at them getting shot left and right while they chase me. We're going to toy with the enemy a little bit in this episode because we have a good strategy already set up. We're going to knock some of their guys on the ground, fucking give them an ignoble death, kick them in the face, knock them on the ground a few more times, and just generally have some fun in this battle. You see they get trucked on the ground. Now, you can attack them when they're on the ground. It's a beautiful thing. And your units will attack them, too. There's nothing more beautiful than knocking down a lord and watching your unit. In fact, it'll be even better if a bunch of peasants are mangling these lords, right? I'll be able to immobilize them, knock them to the ground, dishonor them, and then our little sturgeon raiders and these militia wearing fucking paper bags can maul the enemy. You know, a total looter beatdown. In fact, I wish I had some looters just for this battle. Here, let's truck this guy. There he is. Let's look at... I'll try not to laugh too much, but I just think it's fucking hysterical that you can just come in here and take these, you know, high and mighty knights of this era, knock them to the ground, and then have your fucking weak-ass brigands and whatnot just fucking beat the shit out of. This might be the theme of my next campaign. We might be all about just disgracing these high and mighty fucking noble units. Just running around knocking guys to the ground. Griff has a hammer like this as well. I'm going to run around, just basically truck these guys, knock them to the ground, and then hopefully these low-level guys can kill them. Griff has a hammer. Wouldn't it be amazing if you had like 20 guys, all with hammers that knock the enemy to the ground? Okay, shit. So reinforcements just poured in. We're going to have them charge till we can figure out what we got going on here. This is a big tranche of archers. 135 archers. Okay, we'll spread them out towards the back, move those guys into the corner. Again, it's crossfire as a square. It's hard to spread these guys out on the ground level here, but you see what I'm doing. I'm spreading these archers out, and that square is going to draw a lot of attention from this huge enemy wave that's pouring in, right? You see the guys in the square, and what we're doing with it, again, is we're moving that square to where we want the enemy to go. We're manipulating... We're manipulating the enemy. Maybe I shouldn't fight. A minute here. I'll try to be serious in this episode, but god damn, it's funny just to obliterate guys and truck them to the ground. All right, this is a huge wave, and this is what I have been worried about. They are starting now eventually to wade into the archers here. There's so many of them, they have enough to attack the square and our weak archers. So, you know, we're kind of forced here just to deal with this as best we can. Now, we do have archers raining in arrows from the sides, but this is not a good situation, right? And there's no way I can get around this. I can't stop all of these enemies from coming in. And we're just going to basically have to duke it out here. I'll join these guys here. I don't think that my combat here is necessary. We do have more reinforcements coming. After all, we had 1,000 troops. More than 1,000, I think. But we'll be able to assist our guys a little bit. I'm just giving beatdowns to guys. But it looks like our archers have been able to slowly overwhelm this force. They're starting to pour down. In fact, that might be more reinforcements. All of a sudden, it looked like my guys were like an avalanche here, and that is what's going on. These guys are all reinforcements, just pouring out of the ground like the mushrooms. That's how the reinforcement system works. It'd be nice if they poured out of the gate, but alas, we don't have that realism. Anyways, we're going to charge with these guys, this infantry division, then set these archers up, because this enemy wave is now torched, right? There's a handful of guys. Actually, you know what? They ate that square over there. It took them a while, and it distracted a lot of units, but they're finally wearing it out. Damn, I'm trying to move these units, and it's giving me a hard time. All right, we're going to send this infantry in here. That's fine. They can charge and shield wall. We'll get these archers brought back. Okay, now they can spread out. And look at the death spam, right? We got these low-level scrubs. What's fun is just watch the death spam. We're crushing high-level troops with fucking scrubs, right? It's like Brigand killed so-and-so, Falksman killed so-and-so, Asserite archer shot him, an Avaliaton in the back. It's a beautiful part of this series, right? This is like Revenge of the Nerds on the battlefield. Look at these guys. They're up there trying to... Look at how many arrows are hitting their fucking shields. I mean... I didn't know I was gonna have so much fun playing with an army of fucking brigands. Alright, shifting those guys back into a square. It's another big enemy wave here, and these are still high-level troops, or at least solid-level troops, right? Tier 3, Tier 4. But pretty soon they're going to be on the ground getting trucked, and the death spam is decidedly green. You'll eat my liver. Well, we're going to go back to here to our little archer stronghold. If you dipshits are dumb enough to pursue me up here, I have a beat down waiting for you. Look at all these arms laying all over the place. There's heads laying all over the place. These guys aren't dumb enough. You guys want some of this, that's fine. 330 athleticism, 332 handed skill. It's time to issue a beat down. Let's kick this guy off the steps. Have a nice trip. Yeah, you guys are crushed. This guy, you're still not dead? Fucking asshole. Let's kick him right off this fucking stairway. Have a good trip, dude. I mean, if you can't have fun with video games, when can you have fun, right? Alright, so the square is working beautifully. The next line of reinforcements... What do we got going on here? The next line of reinforcements is getting butchered on that square. It looks like most of that enemy wave is dead. And look at this. These original archers here, including that companion of mine, are basically just untouched here, firing away. Okay, the enemy's pouring in again still. We're going to join them, right? I still got most of my health. Zuvan is enjoying his death hammer. I did play around briefly with my original character with this mace, and he has actually some longer ones, so that'll be fun to try some episodes. Maybe we can dishonor some Khazate Khans by fucking dismounting them over and over again with the long two-handed hammer. All right, so I'm going to basically show you kind of what this looks like from the square's perspective, right? The square is this big body of 80 guys holding up their shields. The enemy's trying to pound on us, and look at what's happening to them, right? They are getting absolutely scorched with arrows, right? Imagine trying to attack anything here. They can't attack. Now here, we'll turn them, and this is, you see me doing this. What I'm going to actually do is drive this big square, and we're basically pulling the enemy right so that their backs are facing the archers. And look at the result. It's just an absolute disaster. Now here's the reality. If they turned and attacked our archers, we charge. We go to shield wall and we charge aggressively, right? So this is, it's a checkmate situation, right? The whole idea of checkmate is that in chess, if you're in a position where no matter what the enemy does, you capture their king, right? It basically signifies a situation where the enemy can't do anything to survive. That's what we have going on here, right? We have these archers in wicked defensive positions. There's a maniac running around with a blunt hammer, just fucking taunting guys, and they're getting shot by so many arrows from so many different directions, they can't defend. Those guys on the other side are still shooting. I see them shooting this guy. It's a ruthless strategy. Now, not all castles are made equal, right? A lot of castles do not have this kind of great defensibility. I've seen castles actually that are very hard to defend because you don't have this open courtyard. It's actually a lot. Where the fuck are you guys going? Get the fuck back with your unit. What unit is this? The 8th unit is back in a square over there. Oh, you disobedient motherfuckers. Teach them a lesson. Fucking right in the spine. Yeah, I bet the rest of you want to obey your Jarl now, huh? He's got a bad temper. Alright, what do we got going on here? There's a break in the action. But you can see this battle is over. They're firing 1,000 arrows at some guy. He must be in the bridge house there. But as you can see, this is checkmate. This battle is over. I know they have some units left, but it doesn't really matter, right? You can see the defensive positioning we have is like having a superior position in a chess match where you're not actually defeated, but you shake your opponent's hand because the inevitable loss is coming, right? They cannot enter and take this castle in this situation. Even if they had 5,000 more troops, I think we could kill all of them. Now, obviously it helps that we killed their strongest waves at the beginning when we had probably a little bit better troops and we killed some with siege, but we've really fucked the enemy up here with tactics. I think they are jammed up on a ladder. Every once in a while, the AI gets all bundled up on a ladder. I think it does a yeah, here they are. I think it does a calculation when they're getting absolutely massacred at a different location and says, okay, we can't go through the front door. The front door is death. Let's go somewhere else. And of course, they can't go up the ladder either because they're going to get annihilated on the ladder. So we're going to put this enemy out of their misery. It's unfortunate that this battle is going to end this way, but as you can see, this battle was already over. We were going to massacre. It didn't matter if all of these guys stormed through the gate. They would just all die a quick death. I don't know why that guy's charging, and I told him to get in line formation here. We're going to spread our archers out in a nice big arch. We're going to put some guys down the road, and that way their retreat is cut off, and we'll have enfilade fire in case these guys decide to charge us. But it does seem like these guys are just statues here. They're just like staring at me. I can like beat them over. Can beat some of these guys over the head. But at this stage, this battle, it's a formality, right? We're just finishing what was inevitable. If these guys tried to come up the ladder, the same thing would have happened, only it would have happened slower. So we're going to have this infantry division in a shield wall here. These guys will be able to fire their javelins in. And I have like 150 archers now spread out, just going to massacre these guys. Now, they may get reinforcements, but I don't think it matters. We can obviously always retreat into the keep, too, if there's any chance of a loss. But I think this episode's mission is accomplished. I think you guys see, look at it trying to climb in. I'd be trying to get away, too, if I was getting shot like that. Let's send these guys in. Fuck them. I'm going to have some fun here. I think you guys see that if you have a nice, beautiful courtyard and you position your units well, and you micromanage a little bit, you can absolutely. There was one of the Lord. Coward was fucking running for the gates. You can see it's a fucking massacre. And I guess the other thing, I haven't played with one of these hammers in a long time, but man, is it fun! I mean, look, the guys are flying left and right as it strikes these guys. A lot of fun. We'll have to play around a little bit more in this series with these axes. I see the guys getting launched off the siege ladders. It's fucking hilarious. Oh, they do have reinforcements. Okay. Well, we'll take these guys on too. These are low-level archers. I'm happy to get some more hammer work here, but this battle is basically over. They're down to low-level troops. We still have some decent-level troops, and of course we have archers in beautiful positions raining arrows at them. I've got one of my companions holding on tight. We'll knock a few more of these fucking troops around. I think that's it. I think they just fucking headed for the exit. My Santa hat guy is chasing after him with the deepest voice ever. He looks like he's 5 foot tall. Die! Victory. Yeah. Well, I don't know if... I hope that was enjoyable to watch, because that was one of the most enjoyable siege defenses. It wasn't one of the most difficult, but that was one of the most enjoyable siege defenses I've had in Bannerlord. We had a good amount of defense forces, but again, we had almost no elite troops, and this very, very powerful 2 armies packed with elite troops got absolutely skewered and sent running for the hills, right? Just get the fuck out of here. You guys have no chance. Come back another time when you have, I don't know, bring 10,000 troops next time. We've still got a handful of companions left. I think she was on one of the siege rams earlier, fucking lobbing rounds. And this victory is complete. Take a look at the stats here. It seems like we did pretty well. Okay, we did suffer 600 losses. Gweth killed 170 people with siege, so she did some mauling. But you see all the kills by these low-level troops. The brigands killed 67s. They're like a tier 2 or tier 3 unit. The militia archers killed fucking 15. Yeah, it's a massacre. I killed 100 myself, but it's not like I swung this battle in our favor. I don't think I think if I didn't kill anybody, we still win. Well, this series has been fun, friends. I'm going to try a few more with this series. If you want to see specific battles with weak armies or with mediocre armies, again, I'm sort of role-playing that I'm in a mid to early stage and showing you fellas what you can do with tactics. I know some of you guys are highly experienced. Hopefully you can glean a little bit from these episodes. And if not, hopefully you guys are entertained, right? Are you not entertained? Anyways, please subscribe, like, all that kind of good stuff is good for the channel. And I will see you friends next time.